RCEP, okay? So what's your point of view? What can we do to ensure that free trade truly contributes to the people's daily life, to the citizens in this area? Thank you.
I think that agreements that improve trade, that improve economic cooperation are always positive. But let's have no illusions. There will only be justice and equity. And there will always be the chance for developing countries to be able to overcome the present difficulties if there is an in-depth reform of international financial institutions. It is absolutely essential to have in the organizations that run the global finance, the Bretton Woods system, other international similar institutions, it's absolutely essential that there is a participation of the developing countries that is much bigger, that the voice of developing countries is much more strongly heard in the decision-making processes, and that much more resources are made available for debt relief, for concessional funding, and for all the other requirements without which it will be very difficult for developing countries to overcome the present difficulties, even if they establish good agreements with this or that country in different areas of the economic activity.
Very good. Russia today? Wait for the microphone, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Guterres. Bom dia. I am a reporter from RT China. So as Russia and China expand their roles within BRICS and strengthen their ties with ASEAN, how can the UN cooperate with this emerging center of influence to build a more balanced and inclusive security architecture in the Asia-Pacific region? Thank you.
So multipolarity.
I believe that we will only have effective multilateralism when we will have effective multipolarity in the world. I am totally against the world in which superpowers have a dominant role. We need a world in which international law prevails, in which the values of the Charter prevail, and the only way to guarantee it is through more equilibrium in international relations, which means with a true multipolarity that facilitates multilateralism. And I see ASEAN as a very important element in this re-equilibrium in international relations. I believe it's essential to have different countries and groups of countries networking in different aspects of economic and political dimensions and creating with this network a factor of equilibrium that doesn't allow for any abuse of power of any superpower or for a division, a geopolitical division of the world into two parts like it happened in the Cold War. I believe we need harmony, and harmony comes from equilibrium. We need a world in which there is more equilibrium in power, and for that we need to promote a multipolar world, and that multipolarity requires poles, and one of them can be ASEAN.
We will take one final question from a local media, Bernama.
Hi, I'm Vignesh from Bernama. So, Malaysia earlier expressed interest to join the Gaza peacekeeping mission. I think yesterday the Prime Minister told about it, the interest in Gaza peacekeeping mission from Malaysia. So, what will be the mechanism and what kind of role do you think Malaysia can play? And my second question is also from Malaysia. There is a call to reform UN, including the abolition or limitation of veto power. What's your take on that?
First of all, in relation to Gaza, I would like to express my appreciation for what has been the constant, coherent policy of foreign policy of Malaysia that has no double standards and that has been strongly advocating for the right of the Palestinian people to self-determination and statehood. It is not yet clear what kind of force, in what circumstances will be created. What is important now is to make sure that the ceasefire holds, that the phase 1 of the agreement is fully implemented, and the UN is ready to play whatever role the key actors involved in this process will determine. The second question.
On reform of the Security Council and the veto.
It is clear the Security Council has a problem of legitimacy and a problem of effectiveness. Legitimacy because its composition no longer corresponds to the reality of today's world. We have 3 European permanent members in the Security Council. We have France, UK and Russia. And we have 1 Asian member, no member from Latin America, no member from Africa. This shows that the Security Council doesn't correspond at all to the world of today. That is why it's so important to have an African representation of 2 permanent members. That's also important to have an increase in the permanent representatives from Asia. Second, there is a problem of effectiveness. And the main element that complicates the effectiveness is indeed the veto power. 2 of the countries, England and France, the UK and France, have presented the proposal to limit the veto power in a certain number of circumstances, and I think it would be very interesting if the members of the Council would seriously consider those proposals.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.